What is up, everybody? Welcome to NASCAR Fan 22. And today we will be looking at NASCAR Cup Series dual race at Daytona number 2. Joey Logano edged out Christopher Bell in the first race. And out of the open cars, Chandler Smith was sent packing and Zane Smith advanced to the 500. Joey Logano advanced his starting position from 5th to 3rd for the 500, as Bowman has the pole position. So currently, lap 25, coming down the backstretch into turn 3 and now into turn 4. Kyle Busch leads, Daniel Suarez, then Kyle Larson, Almirola, and Cindric are your top 5. Elliott, LaJoie, Gillen, Truex, and Gregson round out your top 10. Single file as they come to the line to complete lap 25. Out of the open cars in this race are Austin Hill, Travis Pastrana, and Connor Daly. Travis Pastrana, running 19th right now, is currently in. Austin Hill only needs to beat Austin Hill only needs to beat the 50 car of Connor Daly, who had a mechanical problem in the beginning of the event. We don't know what happened to his race car, but he is back out on the track on the lead lap, currently running 20th. He needs to beat both Hill and Pastrana, with Hill running in 16th, and then Pastrana, who is locked in the 500 on speed, running in 19th. Currently, as they come to the line, Kyle Busch in his new Richard Childress Racing 3 number 8 Chevy Camaro is leading. Suarez behind Larson, Almirola, and Cindric are your top 5, as stated before. Now, Kyle Busch and the rest of the pack will most likely stay single file till about 5 to go. 5 to go is where you make your move. But what happens here is what happened was Joey Logano has his teammate Ryan Blaney sitting in 3rd with about 5 to go, right? And then on the last 2 laps, you have Blaney and then Logano and then Harvick, who needs to make a move. So what Blaney does, he hangs Harvick out to dry, and then you have Bell come up. Blaney pushes Bell out front, lets Bell make a move around Logano, but as we all knew, watching that race, Bell would have no way to get in front of Joey Logano, even though he did for a second, as the momentum from the slingshot would eventually run out. Since Bell did not have any help behind him, Chris Buescher did not jump out of line. He stayed with his other fellow Fords, and Blaney was able to push Logano, his teammate, to the finish and ultimately to the win. So now they go single file as we go side by side on Fox Sports. But we'll stay here. We'll stay right here, and we will keep announcing. So Kyle Busch out front. Now, here we go. About to approach lap 30. So as we're about to approach lap 30 here, the next thing we have to watch out for is when do they pit and how will they pit? Because if you look right now, the first 3 cars are Chevys. Then you have Ford, Chevy. So what usually happens, and then another Chevy behind them would be, behind Chase Elliott would be Corey LaJoie. So what usually happens is each manufacturer pits together so they can come out together, because if you don't know about NASCAR, the same manufacturer, so Chevy, Ford, and Toyota are the 3 manufacturers, right? They will all draft together and push each other well together because they are all the same car. Their front and end, they go well together, and they will draft well together because they are made by the same company and they have the same build. They have the exact same fit, as Connor Daly here goes a lap down. Joey Logano's pit crew clutched up last race and gave him a really fast pit stop. He came out leading the Fords, and because that pack of 7 Fords and 2 Toyotas was able to break very far away from the rest of the pack after the pit stops, and there were no more cautions, there was really whoever was going to lead off pit road is most likely going to win the race because there's not a lot of room for other guys to get backed up to make a run, and no one's going to take the chance of move to the outside. No one goes with you, and you're getting hung out to dry, and you're losing qualifying position for the 500, which is the one that everyone wants to win. Alex Bowman played it really well in duel number 1. He knew that no matter what he did, unless he crashed his car, he was going to start first. So what he did is he went a couple laps down. I think he went 2 laps down. He stayed in the back, made a couple pit stops just to feel everything out before the 500. And he stayed clear, and he kept his pole. Kyle Larson started first for the second duel. He currently runs third. I think that the Chevys, the first 3 Chevys, will pit. Then you have the 2 Fords behind them. And then they will keep going. So as the Chevys pit, so what I think will happen is all the Chevys branched out throughout the field, or at least within 2 or 3 seconds of each other, will come down. Maybe that's even a stretch, maybe more than 2 seconds within each other, will come down pit road together. Even if there's space in between, they'll all move down pit road. The cars behind will speed up a little and then have to test their brakes coming to pit road, see how quickly they can stop. They might not even do that, but I think they should, just to catch the pack if that's what they decide to do. This way they could do manufacturer pitting, and I think the Fords will do the same thing. Even though the Fords and the Toyotas, which there aren't a lot of Toyotas in this race, the Fords and Toyotas will then be spread out like within their own group. So the Fords will all be spread out. So you'll have like Cindric and Almirola together, and then Gillen and Priest will be the next 2 Fords. So they'll also be together. So this is where it gets interesting because, no one has pitted yet. But that's where it would get interesting because then it will only be like packs of 2 pitting together for the Fords. And the same thing with the Toyotas. It'll be like packs of 1 or 2. So I think the Chevys have the upper hand here. And this all changes if a caution comes out after the pit cycle is complete or while a pit cycle is going on. That'll bunch the entire field back up. And all the Fords, Chevys, and Toyotas will all be mixed, but some of them will be together. But that wouldn't really matter while you're green, only if you're going to be in a pack together. So don't forget, Truck Series pre-race starting at 6:30 tomorrow, and the race starts at 7:30. We will also be covering that race on the channel. So stay tuned for that, and then that's about all we will be covering this weekend. The ARCA and Xfinity races will both be on Fox. The same with the Daytona 500 at 2:30 on Sunday. The Xfinity race is at, I believe, 5 Saturday, and the ARCA race will begin at 1:30 Eastern on Sunday. 26 laps to go as they roar down the backstretch of the Daytona International Speedway. Todd Gillen having a good run. Earlier in this race, Justin Haley's right windshield or window flew off the car. They replaced it very quickly. He's back out running 11th. Noah Gragson having a pretty good run. And Tyler Reddick trying to find a hole. He is currently in 15th, but trying to find a hole. Nope. No, I think he's intentionally dropping back. He's intentionally dropping back now. Back in 13th, Denny Hamlin and Brett Keselowski are trying to hook up. Doesn't work. Hamlin goes to the bottom. Keselowski's hung out to dry. He moves in to 14th position. Hamlin got a really big shove. It got him a little bit sideways, but he was able to hang on. And Keselowski's in the 13th position with 24 laps remaining in this one. Single file as they go through turn number 2. Kyle Busch is your leader, followed by Daniel Suarez, Kyle Larson, Eric Almirola, Austin Cindric, Chase Elliott, Corey LaJoie, Todd Gillen, Martin Truex, Noah Gragson is your top 10. The rest of the field, we will give you a rundown of the field. We have Hamlin in 11th, followed by Haley, Keselowski, Preece. Austin Hill is your top 15, as we have Justin Haley giving Denny Hamlin a big shove. Hamlin's shove will be followed up by another shove maybe coming from Noah Gragson here. Nope, they go get back in single file, but as you're going to run down the field, Haley down to 16. That sends Tyler Reddick up to 15th and Austin Hill at 14th. Herbst in 17th. Briscoe in 18th. Travis Pastrana in 19th. BJ McLeod 20th. And the last of the open cars, Connor Daly rounds out the field from now. 23 laps to go. As they come to the stripe, make it 22 to go. Kyle Busch leads him down. He has led the majority of the race. He has dominated the race. But now what will happen, because he has no teammates? The nearest teammate of his is in 9th, and then Hamlin would be in 10th. And even if a caution comes out, it will be hard for them to back him up. I'm sorry. They are no longer his teammates. He drives for Richard Childress. Oh, my God, I completely forgot. I'm going to have to get used to this, just like Kyle Busch last night during qualifying said that he's going to have to get used to saying, his new partners in Chevy. I'm going to have to get used to realizing that his only teammate is Austin Dillon, who was in duel number 1. So Kyle Busch has no teammates this race at all. So now if Kyle Busch gets hung out, we got something going on. Denny Hamlin making a move. Denny Hamlin is all the way up to 7th. Him, Corey LaJoie, and Chase Elliott try to form a line. It's not working. It's dropping back. And there's no hole for either one of them to fall into. No hole for one of them to fall into. Austin Hill about to close up that hole. Chase Elliott has a big run. He gives Hamlin a big shove. This lane maybe could work now. They're going to try to 2-car tandem it here. As we got a battle for the lead up front. Big shoves coming from Suarez. He looks outside. Can't get it. Kyle Busch blocks. Big push. Suarez and Busch are locked bumpers. 20 to go with Daytona. This is going to get ugly in the end. Kyle Busch has no teammates. There really are no teammates up front. Because you see Suarez and Busch have no teammates. Larson and Almirola have no teammates up front. Cindric, both the Penske boys were in the other race. Kyle Busch gets turned around. He's going the wall. He comes back across the track. Does not collect anybody else. There are more cars collected in the wreck. Travis Pastrana's in it. Austin Hill's in it. Riley Herbst caught up in it. Kyle Busch got turned off the front bumper, and Daniel Suarez, he goes into the wall, careens down the track, and other cars trying to avoid get involved in the accident. Austin Hill went around trying to avoid. He went up in the wall, hit Riley Herbst, who came down, collected Travis Pastrana. Taking a look at the replay, so Suarez just gets a little bit, Busch moves down and Suarez gets a little bit antsy, moves down, and Busch's right rear quarter panel was there, and they hook. He wasn't completely to the right of the right rear quarter panel, but just enough to where if he slightly moved left, Busch was going around. You could see it coming for a lap. Busch will now have to bring out the backup car. And since he started 10th, he's probably going to have to start 30th, maybe a little bit higher, but maybe even a little bit worse. So, I'll give you a rundown of the wreck. As we said, what happened to Kyle Busch. Now, Austin Hill was trying to avoid, and there were other cars in the grass Ryan Preece was in the grass. Justin Haley went in the grass, but they went down there to avoid. I don't know how Kyle Busch didn't collect more cars as he spun across the track. It looked exactly like what happened to Joey Logano last year. Not the way that he crashed, but, well, kind of the way that he crashed as well, but the way that he spun as he just kept spinning down the track in the middle. That car kept going down. Austin Hill moved up way too hard and way too abruptly. I don't think that he knew that he had Riley Herbst on his outside. Hits Riley Herbst. They come down. Now looking at the replay, I think that Travis Pastrana was hit by Kyle Busch as he was going. Yeah, so Travis Pastrana was going across the grass. Kyle Busch comes down, clips the right rear quarter panel. Now, we don't know how much damage Travis Pastrana has. The camera's cut away from him as soon as we saw him spin up the track. And we haven't gotten a look at his car since. So we will see when we come back from commercial here on Fox. But right here, we're going to keep discussing this race. So the pit stops haven't happened. Most likely cars will pit under caution here. But with 20 laps to go, oh my goodness. That changed the entire race. In the end, what I was saying about the teammates was, in the end, Kyle Busch was going to be hung out to dry. He was in a horrible situation. Whoever is going to be first at the end of this race is going to be in a horrible situation because of the same thing with Kyle Busch. They're going to have no teammates up front, most likely. And so once a move is made on them, they're going to either have to block it and risk a wreck, or they're just going to have to take the loss of position if they don't want to wreck their race car. So also, Kyle Busch did not have to be blocking as desperately as he was. We're going to see a slow motion replay here. Daniel Suarez was also not pushing very well. He's pushing very hard, but not very well, and that's completely different. He was lined way farther up on the right rear quarter panel than he should have, and it just turns the A car around. Kyle Busch goes for a ride, and Daniel Suarez is now your leader. As we get another look at it, Daniel Suarez just comes down, hooked onto the back bumper of Kyle Busch. So wherever he goes, Kyle Busch is going with him. Tries to correct the car as Suarez goes down, and Busch comes up. Well, not that he came up, just Suarez maybe swerved the car to the right a little bit, most likely. And that hooked Kyle Busch. Okay, so now we get a better view of this crash. What happens is Travis Pastrana is behind Austin Hill. As Austin Hill hits the brakes, Travis Pastrana runs into the back of the 62 car. 62 car spins out, hits the 15 of Riley Herbst as Daniel Suarez overshoots his pit stall and has to back up. That is going to be huge. They're going to lose a ton of time on pit road. But as I was saying, the 62 gets turned into 15, and then Travis Pastrana is rubbed up on the 62 as well. And he gets into the wall. He hit the 62. And that's your little rundown. I don't think that any of those cars will be back in the race. Maybe the 62, but they'll all have to resort to backup cars. As you see, I see Daniel Suarez slocking the brakes up and misjudging his pit stall completely. He overshoots it, and they're going to lose a lot of time on pit road. Brett Keselowski got in the grass a little bit, avoiding Austin Cindric, who came up the track abruptly. No problems there, though. Daniel Suarez has lost a ton of positions. He's all the way in the back of the field. The only one behind him, I think, maybe is Connor Daly, and then all the wrecked cars. And Austin Hill's back on the track. That car does not look good. Here's the replay. Yeah. Travis Pastrana just runs right in the back. And there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, Austin Hill's slowing down, and he nails the 15 car, and the 67 goes up with him. Kyle Busch almost collected the 38 of Todd Gilliland, but he did not. Todd Gilliland narrowly escapes as we will go to commercial and resume racing with 17 laps left. Welcome back to the NASCAR Fan 22 Daytona Duel 2 live stream. As they clean up the wreck, I think Daniel Suarez is not in a good position. He hasn't led much at super speedways. We don't know how he's going to block. Is he a good blocker? We don't know if he's going to block well. So we're going to see what happens. I mean, if they stay single file, nothing can really happen, because let's say a car moves out, no one goes with him. Well, he's moving in the back. And even if he does get picked up, let's say it's two or 1 lap to go. We're going to say 1 lap to go. They cross the stripe, whatever. They're on the back stretch. Someone moves out, doesn't work. They fall to the back. Let's say someone does move out, and then it works, and there's a 2-car tandem or more. That inside lane is going to come. Or whatever other lane. Most likely Suarez is probably blocking the outside, because that's probably where the run goes. Unless he's not, depending on how big of a run that lane has, whatever lane that lane may be. The inside lane is going to come, and they're going to pick up Suarez. Depending on where he is, if they have room to make a move, they will, but they most likely won't because of where the other lane would have been. So they most likely will not have a lane to make a move, but if they do, Suarez is helpless at that point. He's not blocking 2 lanes. One car is not blocking 2 lanes. It's not going to happen. Also, a car that does not have, a driver that's experienced, that's an experienced blocker. So don't forget to tune in next on Fox, the USC versus California college hoops. My personal pick for that game, I say USC will edge out Cali in that one. But so the defending Cup Series champion, Joey Logano, did not have a good clash, had a good duel. I think that he's going to have a good 500 as well. I think he has a really good chance of winning this year. I usually do make a championship prediction. I'm going to make mine on camera. I am a Joey Logano fan. In the beginning of the year, before the season started, I thought he was going to have a really bad championship hangover. But I can't really tell this. I mean, this team nailed the setup. I think he's going to win again this year. I don't see how it doesn't happen as Austin Hill drives his car back to the garage area. He's done. They'll have to resort to a backup. Oh, wait, no. They won't be able to resort to a backup. I don't think Austin Hill was locked in. I think his race is over. And that means that since Travis Pastrana, I think he might be out of the race. And Austin Hill, Travis Pastrana will not catch up to Connor Daly. Travis Pastrana's car is wrecked. If he's even in the race, we don't know yet. Or Austin Hill, his night is done. It's Connor Daly's wrecked race car is gonna go to the Daytona 500. Now, if they do resort to a backup car, that's fine. They're probably starting last anyway. So you might as well go to the backup. The setup was horrible on this car, and there were so many things wrong with it. So you just go to the backup. But I don't get it. If you're the money team, no offense to Connor Daly, but if you're the money team, why don't you have him run the July Daytona race or the Atlanta race or one of the Talladega races, and then put a more experienced Kaz Grala in the 50 car for the Daytona 500? I don't see the reasoning of putting Connor Daly in, but that's what they did. As we're gonna go green, looking good, coming to 14 to go. Green flag is back in the air. We are racing again, and another one of my predictions before we get going here: Corey LaJoie will win a super speedway race this year, whether it's at 500, Daytona in July, one of the Atlanta races, one of the Talladega races. It will happen. But now the race is on. 14 laps to go. Almirola getting a huge shove from Brad Keselowski, but they need help to come from behind. Almirola wiggles a little bit. Here comes Martin Truex to shove Brad Keselowski, and the inside lane is moving nice. Oh, down below the WL line. This isn't going to work. Keselowski trying to fit back in. They do. But Kyle Larson and Austin Cindric regain the lead. Kyle Larson has a big lead now. He's probably going to get a big run come up on him. And here it comes. Eric Almirola being pushed by Brad Keselowski. Here comes a run. Where will Almirola take it? He'll take it straight to the back bumper of the number 5 Hendrick Motorsports machine. To the outside. Austin Cindric. Nothing looking there. Big gap between Almirola and Keselowski. Almirola is dropping back to Keselowski here. A Ford teammate, if you will. Now, big shove from Keselowski. Almirola makes his move to the outside. Keselowski's going to go with Larson, though. No help for Almirola in the outside lane. Here it comes with Austin Cindric, with Todd Gilliland behind him. Kyle Larson regains the lead. You have Brad Keselowski on the inside and Eric Almirola leading the outside. Almirola gets a little bit of a run, just edges out Brad Keselowski, coming to 12 laps to go. Pushes coming from Austin Cindric. It's going to propel Eric Almirola back to the lead, but he's not fully clear of Kyle Larson. Almirola being pushed by Austin Cindric, but on the inside, here comes Brad Keselowski. Big, bad Brad Keselowski pushing Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson gets a little wiggly. Oh, he almost wrecks it. He almost took out about 5 or 10 cars. But now Kyle Larson regains the lead, just edging out and now clearing Almirola. This is going to be a messy one. As tradition follows, it's always one of the races is clean, then the next one is an absolute chaos show. I was going to say an absolute zoo, if you will, maybe. Now, Eric Almirola clears Kyle Larson on the inside lane. Larson takes a run straight to the back bumper of the number 10 car. Almirola still out front. That outside lane's got to organize now. We got 11 laps to go. That outside lane's got to organize. Then try to muster up some big run with 2 laps to go or 1 lap to go or something. They've got to do something here. The outside lane's lead car, Austin Cindric, sitting in third, battling for third with Brad Keselowski. Out front, this might just be Kyle Larson versus Eric Almirola, because if there's no help coming the outside and they're still side by side, there's nowhere for Brad Keselowski to go. It's going to get interesting. That's exactly what's going to happen. There's no run either way. Well, now a gap between Larson and Keselowski and a gap between Larson and Almirola. Here comes Austin Cindric. Now he's even with the number 5 Hendrick Motorsports machine on the outside lane. Austin Cindric powering to the outside. Almost at the right rear quarter panel of Almirola. Not quite there yet. He needs Gilliland to give him a bit bigger of a shove. Corey LaJoie behind him. And then followed by Elliott and Suarez. But Suarez not as engaged in the pushing as the front 3 cars are being big push, big shove from Todd Gilliland. Todd Gilliland is now hooked to the back bumper of the 2 car. Oh, it's not working though. That inside lane is muscling past him. Austin Cindric to the outside, trying to get even with the 6 car. He is even with the 6 car. Now there's a little bit of a run coming the outside lane. Here comes the outside. They're even. And Austin Cindric is clear of Eric Almirola. Austin Cindric going to stay on the outside, though. I think if I were him, I'd move down. Well, now there's no room to move down because they're side by side again for the lead, Almirola and Austin Cindric. Getting a little swirly back there, Gilliland and LaJoie. They move down side by side as they come to the line with 8 laps to go. This race is insane. And yes, by the way, if any of you are wondering, Travis Pastrana is out of the race. Oh, here we go. Austin Cindric was about to clear Eric Almirola, but that outside lane got a little disorganized. They got a little swirly. A couple cars got loose, Cindric being one of them. But now the outside lane regains its power, and Cindric draws even with the nose of the number 10 Smithfield Ford. Big shove from Todd Gilliland. Cindric gets out front, doesn't have any help. Help is coming on the way. Now Gilliland draws even with Larson, Cindric even with Almirola. Larson and Gilliland almost touch. the inside lane, or at least Larson and Almirola get a little bit organized with their 2 car tandem. 7 laps to go. Cindric and Almirola and Larson have a little bit of a gap, which means Cindric is probably going to take the lead. Is he clear of the number 10 Smithfield Ford? No, he's not. Cannot get clear. Now he draws even with the 3rd place car of Kyle Larson, second on the inside. Todd Gillen will not give up fighting. If there is a big crash on the last lap, or if there is a big crash at all, I think Corey LaJoie is in good position to win this race. Right now, he sits 6th, 3rd in the outside lane. They are getting mad loose up front. I think you don't risk your car for this race. I think if I'm Austin Cindric, though, once I get clear of Almirola, oh wait, no, there's a gap between Gillen and the 2 of Cindric. Now there's a big now Cindric draws even with Larson, and a big gap between Almirola and Larson. Larson should get a big run. Oh, they're getting swirly. Cindric draws even and clears the 10, but doesn't jump down in front. I think he should now. He's trying to come down. Didn't have enough time. Now there's a big gap between 2 lead cars. Big run coming from the outside. Austin Cindric takes the 5 to go signal as the leader. But now Almirola draws back even. Eric Almirola and Austin Cindric are side by side, but will it stay like that? Or will there be chaos? Imagine, guys, this is just a duel. Imagine how it's going to be in the 500. So much more aggressive, so many more cars, and so much more fun. Austin Cindric to the outside. They are still side by side, door to door. And now Cindric, who fell a little bit behind, draws even, gets a little bit in front. Help is on the way from both sides as they were both alone. That outside lane's organizing a little bit better, a lot better. Austin Cindric is clear of the 10. Here comes Kyle Larson. Oh, no, not here comes Kyle Larson. The 38 was clear for a second. There's a big gap between the 38 and the 2. The 38 needs to come back to the 2 car. What can Todd Gillen and Corey LaJoie muster up to help Austin Cindric here? 3.5 to go. And it will be 3 to go as they come to the line. Big change of events. Todd Gillen and Austin Cindric now are the 2 front cars in the bottom. Corey LaJoie leads the outside lane. LaJoie sits in 4th. Can he win this race? Corey LaJoie being shoved by Chase Elliott. Oh my goodness, you remember to the Atlanta race last year, it was Chase Elliott and Corey LaJoie in the end. LaJoie got wrecked trying to pass him, and Elliott went on to win in his hometown. I don't think there are any bad vibes between those 2, as Corey LaJoie was about to take the lead but gets blocked by Cindric. Cindric goes up. Cindric is mad loose. Cindric almost turned his car around in front of the pack. That slows down LaJoie and Cindric on the outside. The outside lane stays organized, though. They are not out of this race. Now Cindric leads the outside. Coming at 2 to go. What's Almirola going to do? Because him and Gillen are clear. Almirola's in second. Gillen leads with 2 to go. I told you guys, once Cindric and Gillen were in front, it was going to change the entire complexion of the race. Austin Cindric almost turns his car around in front of the entire field. He almost spun and wiped out half the pack. That would have changed the entire race. That would have changed the entire starting lineup. Oh, here comes Austin Cindric. Todd Gillen, the leader. Down the backstretch with 2 laps remaining. Austin Cindric has some help from Corey LaJoie. Corey LaJoie waiting for the 9 car, Chase Elliott, to pull up to his back bumper so he can give the 2 car shove. Almirola on the outside. Gillen has no help. Now he gets help from the bumper of Kyle Larson as they draw even. Almirola on the outside, Gillen on the inside. Gillen almost wrecks his car. They stay side by side. There's going to be a big crash. I already sense it. Oh, Gillen slides. This changed the entire race. There are no lanes now. He slows down the entire inside lane. Now the front three cars are broken away. It's Corey LaJoie, Austin Cindric, and Eric Almirola here. Into turn number 3, LaJoie in third, trying to help Cindric, but the car is not fast enough to get there. About to exit turn number 4, LaJoie might get some help down the front stretch. It looks like it's going to be Eric Almirola. Battle for third, gonna go to Chase Elliott. Eric Almirola wins. Austin Cindric second, Chase Elliott third, Brad Keselowski fourth, LaJoie fifth. That was your top 5 in a crazy last lap turn of events. Could you believe it? And Connor Daly will race his way into his first Cup Series start, being the Daytona 500 at 2:30 on Sunday. For a second, I had thought once LaJoie was on the outside lane that he was going to win that race. That he was going to get a lane, and he was going to get a push. And win that race. But no. Just like a couple years ago, Eric Almirola, Joey Logano win the 2 duel races. Now, Eric Almirola will start 4th. Your winner of the second duel. Joey Logano will start 5th. Joey Logano will start 3rd in the 500. And if you're wondering who will be starting 1st and 2nd, that will be Bowman will be your pole sitter, and Larson will be starting 2nd. If you go back and look, Gillen slides. He gets a big shove from Larson. He was never stable going into the corner. And that car almost gets turned around, and that changed the entire race. Corey LaJoie gladly takes the outside lane. So he finishes 5th. Now, I wonder how high that will put LaJoie in the starting order for Sunday. Probably very high. Larson gets shuffled back. Keselowski gets shuffled back. But Corey LaJoie did not have the speed to get back up to Cindric. I thought that if he did, would have pushed Cindric and Almirola would have wrecked, and we would have had Corey LaJoie and Joey Logano sitting in victory lane. But we did not. First race's finish was much more exciting, but this race overall was much more exciting. But coming to the line in the end was crazy. In the last race, Eric Almirola celebrates the win. The Money Team celebrates their their second appearance in the Daytona 500 in their second year with their number 50 car entry. Big celebrations on pit road for the 50 and the 10 team. That's going to wrap up our live stream for today. I hope you enjoyed my announcing. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another video. And you don't miss our broadcast at 7:30 tomorrow night. NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series hits the high banks of Daytona, and we will crown a winner of the season opener tomorrow night. So I hope you guys enjoyed. This was NASCAR Fan 22. Peace.